Absolutely beautiful. G'day folks, and welcome to Robbies River Roundup for Friday the 10th of April 2015. Proudly brought to you as always by Adventure Camping and Fishing at 14 Rowan Street in Wangaratta. I'm up here today on the King River, about halfway between Wangaratta and Whitfield, and it is looking absolutely magnificent. In all honesty, I don't think I've seen the river look any better than this, and I don't think it could look any better than this. This looks fantastic. This stretch of the King River used to be home to some fantastic trout fishing when I was a young bloke. I used to come up here in the 80s and even the early 90s, and I'd walk with my mate Tony, and we would walk for hours along here catching trout, quite often up around 3 and 4 pounds. But those days are gone. My grandfather used to tell me of the big trout he caught here up around 10 pounds back in the 60s. But unfortunately those days are gone, and a lot of it is to do with warming. The average water temperature is a lot warmer now than what it used to be. I've seen a lot of the scientific data. It was sent to me by Victorian Fisheries from the recent trout study they done about 12 or 18 months ago with the water temperatures from some of these streams, and this stretch of the King River was the warmest by a mile. When it should have been 18 or 19 degrees, it was up around 25 degrees. In contrast to that, the upland stretches of the King River, right up high up above Pineapple Flat and King River Hut and places like that, they were right down around 18 or 19 degrees where they should have been, and it's no coincidence that there's still some really good trout fishing up there. And it's not just this river, it's a lot of the rivers that used to have great trout fishing in the lower reaches. Even the Kiva River used to have great fishing all the way right down as far as Tangambalanga many years ago. These days, Dedaring's really the lower limit, because anywhere upstream from that you get trout, downstream the water just gets too warm. And sadly, a lot of the creeks that feed these rivers are a lot lower than they used to be and a lot warmer. The upside, I guess, is the Murray cod have become much more widely distributed over the last few years, thanks to fish stocking and probably the warmer water leading to better conditions, and they've pushed further up into some of these clearer stretches of river. But anyway, this isn't the only river that's looking good. At the moment, all of the rivers around the region are looking really good. The Kiva River is just looking absolutely fantastic. I saw the Kiva River in Mount Beauty a bit over a week ago and couldn't believe how good it looked. Then yesterday I was at Killara, which is just on the outskirts of Wodonga, only a kilometre or two upstream from the Kiva River's junction with the Murray, and the Kiva's even really clear there. The rivers could not be in better condition. We had half an inch or so of rain here earlier this week, and it hasn't even put any colour into the water here. There was a little bit of colour into the Ovens River in Wang the other day, but it cleared out really quick, and it has not been anywhere near enough to make any difference. The fishing itself has been very patchy for Murray cod, but the trout fishing's been really good. All of the little creeks that have got trout in them are fishing really well at the moment if you can find enough water. And in all honesty, a lot of them aren't doing too bad for this time of year. There are a couple of creeks that are really struggling, but the majority of them aren't too bad, and the fish are quite active despite the low flows. So in a nutshell at the moment, the rivers are looking really good, the creeks are looking really good. You won't get conditions better at any time of the year, and it's not just the water conditions that are better. I'm sitting here now, it's probably 19 or 20 degrees, there's a gentle breeze, I'm not sweating, and I don't really want to get off this rock because this is just absolutely glorious. You're probably at work right now while I'm sitting on the bank of the river. But don't worry, I'm probably at work all weekend when you're on the bank of the river. The King River, named after the man that discovered it, King George. Or was it King Henry? Or King Alfred? Oh no, it wasn't, it was Paul River. Folks, I'm sorry it's a bit bland this week, but there's not much change in conditions. It is that time of year where things can change in the blink of an eye. All we need is a deluge, and it would be very nice right now, but as long as we haven't got the rain, we've got these outstanding conditions. Definitely worth wetting a line. The fishing's not as good as it was a couple of months ago, but there are still quite a lot of fish being caught right around the area. But at the moment the trout have picked up, and that's the best news ever. So get out and wet a line in these unreal conditions. Despite it being not hot, I am tempted to strip down to my budgie smugglers and jump in, because that water just looks absolutely inviting. Have a great week. Have a great week. Twice. What's a weekend? Have a great weekend, everybody, and I'll catch you all next week.